Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial. I'm so glad you're here. So let's start today. I'm going to use the kit Zen, but also maybe I will use other things. And if you are not aware of my style, I don't pre-prepare my tutorials, so you can learn how to brainstorm things or to get things going. In other tutorials, I will have help with colors and design, and depends on what I want to accomplish with that tutorial. Today, I just want to do a more artistic layout here, inspired by meditation, by the teachings of Buddha. I'm not a Buddhist, but I really like what the Buddha is about. And I did this kit, especially if you like yoga. I like yoga a lot. So inspired by these things. And so let's have fun. Of course, you can use other kits. I just hope you can learn techniques and the flow of how to get your own style doing artistic layouts, okay? So let's get going. First, I started here with a 10 by 10. To me, it's enough 10 by 10 because if I want to print, it's enough to print. And if you want to show on a digital frame, it's enough as well. So I know I'm not gonna put this layout super big, so if I know for some reason I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna then create a bigger layout. So I have here the Zen kit, and I think what I'm gonna do first today is start with the Buddha, because I created this kit because I was dying to do something more peaceful related to the Buddha teachings. So I have this Buddha here. And by the way, I'm using here Bridge, that if you have Photoshop CC, it comes with Bridge, and you know, it's easy to see all your supplies, tag everything if you want. I'm not a tag person because I follow a folder system, but it's really good that connects straight to Photoshop. And there is way more uses with Bridge, and I think it's a super deal that comes with free with Photoshop. I think it's a great deal. So, okay. So before I put him, let's start with the background. What I know that I want for this layout and things that have to do with the Buddha is softness, peaceful, tranquility, and I know purple lavender kind of color goes well with this kind of theme. So I will start with the backgrounds that we have here. So I have some papers. So I'm gonna get a little bit of the paper here. Let's start with this. And then I'm gonna mix with our brushes here, okay? The reason why I get to do so many brushes and things is because I like to play with my supplies, first of all, and I really like the freedom to create my own background. And if you want to use the paper as it is, it's great, but if you want to start your own background and mix papers, that's a great way also to use your stash and create a brand new thing. So this is what I like to do, and I think if you're watching this is because you like to do that as well. First, I'm going to go Command. First, I go to Option Mask, and then it's gonna go black. And let's see what we're gonna use today. I think that I'm gonna use the water texture brush, which is a free brush that I have for my newsletter subscribers, but I will put you have that on Patreon as well. So I really like this brush. So let's start with this dynamic brushy here, and let's do some mixing here and see what happens. Of course, I have to have white. So it's great, it has some texture, but I don't want it to be so strong. So let's start that again. Yeah. And This here, let's put 80 as well as a flow. Again, trying to bring something soft. Well, a technique that I like to do a lot is kind of, you know, put some and take some and start creating this kind of mix. So I'm going to do a new layer here, and I want it to be underneath, and let's go to a lavender color. Let's see if I have something on the pastel here. And this is something that comes in Photoshop. Let's try this one. I would like a little bit lighter. So yeah, maybe. Okay. Choose this one, reduce the flow. Gonna do some yellow. Alt option. Let's get that purple again. A stronger purple this time. And let's see, we have some pattern here. Let's see what happens if we do. Yeah, let me just put this in a new layer because I'm going to reduce the flow here, and I just want to put some texture there, and then I'm going to use a blend mode. Linear burn. So now let's go back to that mask there, and it has to be white. And let's now mix, but really random. I think what makes a difference also in this technique is that I'm using a tablet, and for sure you can use a mouse, but it's gonna make a whole difference for you if you start mixing your colors. If you start using a tablet, there is very cheap versions today that it's gonna give a whole new experience for you. Let me get this one here. Let's mix this one as well. I don't like to Command Alt. I don't like to put a lot of 3D elements because I like my layouts to be more artistic. So we are now going to bring back this one. So reducing the flow means I don't want so much paint to come in the tip of my brush, okay? I want it to be just 78%. Let's see what happens if we use, oh, I like that. Do you see this part here? So really like that. So always remember to play with your overlays. Again, this is just the first layer. We can remove, that's the beauty about digital, we can remove and make this simpler or more. It all depends. So let's get going then. So let's get him again, bring him up. Majestic Buddha. Really like him. I like him to be the center. If we do the rules of composition of thirds here, we see that the Buddha could be, oops, the Buddha could be like here, right? Because if you have one of these corners going on, then it's it's a good composition rule, right? So let's get that going there. So I wanted this to have a lot of luminance, and of course I don't want him to be on top of stuff. So let's try first to duplicate him, and I'm gonna hide this one for now. And let's play here with our, oh, I like that. Is that lighten? Yeah, let's do overlay, which I love, love, love. I'm going to make him a little bigger. And because I want some parts of him to be blended with the background, but I don't want him to look on top, but I wanted some parts like his face and his arms to show more. So what I'm going to do is going to hide this one, so command mask, and I'm going to get a soft brown brush. Let's go to the Photoshop brushes, legacy brushes, default, and a round soft brush. And I'm gonna bring back Did I move this Buddha? Why he seems, there we go. Sorry for the dog. Sorry about that. So as you can see, I bring just kind of the corners here, but I want this part here to be blended. So just gonna point out for you. So I want this part here to be blended, but I'm keeping his middle here more up front, so it gives them more blended look, but at the same time we can still see him. Okay, so I want some kind of light coming here, but before that, let's see what else we can put here. And maybe the Buddha could have some flowers and lotus flowers close to him. So let's do that. And I like the linear burn. So again, we kind of mix and we don't mix, right? Something is blended and something is not. And let's keep bringing here. And I want the chakra to be behind him. I want this one to be behind. So what I'm going to do first, let's organize the layers. It's always a good idea. Okay, so this paperwork here, let's keep this together, and then we're going to lock it, because this way we don't move what's going on. Okay, so then I'm going to put this here behind the Buddha. This is the Buddha. Let's put him here. It's always good to organize if you end up with a lot of layers. Okay, so this one, and let me put a blend mode. I like that, but of course I don't like that it's on top of him, so I'm going to mask it with a soft round brush. Now you see why it's crucial sometimes to have a tablet, because I think it's essential to do artistic layouts with a tablet. because this is not 100%, so I just wanted to remove it from here, but at the same time I don't want it to be, I don't want to just compete with the Buddha, right? I want the Buddha always to be the center of attention here. So let's check far away how we are doing. Remember that we have here one of the cornerstones here. It was this line over here. Oops. So I would like something here. So let's bring this baby back. And let's see what we can do. And then at the same time, we have a triangle as well. But I want to continue to put more things here underneath him. Oh, I know what I want to put in behind him. So I have... So, okay, I want to try this, but let's see if it's not going to be too busy. Like this kind of Zen garden here behind him. So this has to be all the way down. Give an overlay. Yeah, but I want maybe 50%. And let's mask. Let's grab the brush, and this is the soft round brush, and I want way bigger because when we do a bigger brush, we just use the edges of the brush. Okay. Okay. This is a little bit bothering me, so let's see here what we can do. I think I will do it smaller and do it over here, and let's give a multiply and see what happens. Collarbone, yeah. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate this one. I'm gonna do normal, and let's put a mask, and I want just kind of the middle to be strong. Okay, so you see there what I did. I put one on top, I mask it. This one is multiply, right? And this was collarbone actually. And I mask it just kind of the middle here, and just this middle pop up because this middle is a little higher, so it's not, you know, it's not competing a lot. So let's see what we have here. So we have, let's put again this here. So we have what I would call this is the kind of thing we have here, right? And we have the Buddha here, so this is kind of a middle composition here. Okay, all right. I think this flower is a little too big, so let's fix that. And in case this is bothering you, let me take this out of here. Let's make it smaller here, and let's see if we find another one. And let's change this color a little bit. There we go. All right, And let's test and use the blend modes and see what happens. Ooh, I like that. Okay, what if we kind of do the same effect that we have with the light and when we were seeing just part, and we do with this? Okay, so this is what I'm saying here. We have the hard brush. Let's go back to the soft. Way big because I just want to get the edges, so just the edges touch. You see how I'm just putting the edges there? Okay, so it's super soft, and then we just have this part here of the flower. All right, looking great. I think we need some kind of contrast here. We have things light everywhere here, so I need these corners to be a little darker, and you're probably going to see that a lot if you are on my Patreon, that I'm going to do that a lot. So we're going to go to layer, new layer, new layer, and we're going to do overlay. As soon as you put overlay, you have this option here, fill the overlay neutral color 50% gray. So we're gonna get that. And what I want now is a soft brush, as big as it can be. So what happens with the 50% gray layer is when you, well, let's go back to black and white. When you brush on black, it's gonna get darker. When you brush on white, it's gonna get lighter. But remember, our flow is just 86% because I don't want it to get super dark. Let's do 70%. First, here I'm gonna name my layers here because these files are gonna be able for you guys to see. Okay, so let's make it even bigger. 50% gray. There you go. So it just makes the colors that is already there darker. You see that? Okay. So I want these edges here, and I want the Buddha here to be darker because the light's gonna be here, right? I'm not gonna do this effect here, but if you go white, you see that everything gets whiter. So, but I'm gonna do another effect, okay? So you see that I put a shadow here in the middle of him, in the corners, okay? So now this middle here is light, and now we're gonna do a light effect. I'm gonna go to my, it can be any soft kind of brush. I actually, yeah, let's try the watercolor brush. I'm gonna use the water blends, soft one. Let's do a kind of, you can do yellow, you can do grayish color, orange, okay? And let's make sure everything is 100% here, 100% here. And remember, he has light over here, so soft. And we are going to use a blend mode. You see here, color dodge. It's almost like the sun is there. It's amazing. So this effect will change according to the color you use. You see how here gives a more vintage effect, which is very cool as well. But was that this one? Let's try again. This one is cool. Overlay. Ooh, this one is kind of bluish. I like it. Now I don't know if you put divide or overlay or vivid light. Interesting. So you can also go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and you can blur this layer a little bit, which is gonna give a more interesting effect there to the image. Okay, so now let's get our word of art, our reflection for the day here with this layout. I put a Buddha quote here. There you go. This is something that it's so very true. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. Isn't that so true? And this is the hard part, right? Now where do we put this, right? Because we don't want to mess with this. I do want people to see this here. I think I will, with black it's hard to have really a but if you see here, when you dissolve things, we can also change the color here. What about to do a dark dark blue, and then layer, few layers, solid color, and so we clipped. Now that we clipped, we can kind of merge them. So I'm gonna merge. Okay, now is it better to use a blend mode? You see here? So let's use this color burn. Let's duplicate, and the second one let's use 50%. So you see it's there, but it's not as out there with the black. So I just think I need to make this a little darker. There you go. To 50% flow. I'm with white, just giving a little more brightness here. Okay. All right, so I think we're done with this one. So I hope you enjoy, and I wanted to share what you created with this. I would love to see. See you next time.